Hey, what's up, world, and welcome to the Take One podcast, the 20th edition. I am your host, Chris, and I know it's been spread out between the 19th and this one, but I had to make sure I got this out as soon as I could. It's just been a lot of stuff that's been going on in my life, my job, and all this stuff, and just trying to fit making, these podcasts and doing other things. So I am here. It's a lot of stuff to talk about. And I wanted to get into it. A lot of trailers then dropped, a lot of movie news between the 19th episode and this episode. So I wanted to get into that. And so without further ado, let me go ahead and get started with our first segment, which is movie notes. And for those who don't know, I talked about it in episode 19 I'm going to have segments. So each segment, depending on what I'm talking about, is going to have its own segment, from shows to movies to trailers and stuff. So movie notes is a segment where I'm just talking about movies and whatever. And so the first thing that I'm going to talk about in movie notes is the live action Lion King movie is coming from Disney. Now, when I first heard, they might end up touching, the Lion King or whatever and making a live action, I was like, yo, how can they do this? Like, I don't want this to be tarnished. I love Lion King is one of my favorite movies of all time. I loved it when I was younger and I love it then. The new additional songs, they can keep that shit. But as far as the movie, it's freaking phenomenal. I ain't gonna say it's the perfect movie, but it's damn near perfect. It's so good, so good. And so, and this is my frame of mind of thinking before, I saw Jungle Book. And for those who haven't seen Jungle Book, check it out. It is an awesome film. I already did my review on it. You can go check it out on my channel. But Jungle Book was such an amazing film. I love the animated movie, and then I also love this live action. I guess if you can call it that. Yeah, I mean, because it has the little kid in there, but it's somewhat live action. And so if they do it in the vein of Jungle Book, and this is my frame of mind of thinking when Jungle Book came out, then I would be accepting of it, because Jungle Book was done so good. Plus it was done on a sound stage that, when you look at the movie, you're like, really? This wasn't shot in, in the jungle or nothing? Like, everything is basically computer generated besides the young boy that played Mowgli. And so I'm like, okay, if they do it in this vein, then, I'll be all for it. And it just came out recently that they are doing it. And Jon Favreau, who directed Jungle Book, is going to be a part of this. Like, I believe he's going to direct it or whatever. And he's going to be a big part of it. And he's more than likely going to do what he did for Jungle Book. And that gets me excited, because it shows me that they're really are going to take care, really going to take care with this. That they're not just going to throw it out or whatever. I mean, because Disney, ever since, I guess you could say, ever since some years ago, they've really been trying to take care with their movies and what they put out. Like, they're real cautious of whatever. I mean, despite what you may think about their movies, a lot of movies people might not like, but they make money. They're not just going to put out some crap. Just bam, 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 bam. If it makes money, they're going to put it out. Okay, whatever. Like, I know a lot of people aren't fans of the Alice in Wonderland, or, the... what's the movie called? The Pirates of the Caribbean. But they bring in money. But they're not going to put out some crappy sequels and stuff like they did throughout the 90s. You get the Pocahontas 2, Little Mermaid 2, 3, 4, and, the Cinderella's 2, 3. They're not going to do that no more. They're going to take care. They're going to they're going to take their time with it. And so now it just shows that they're going to, actually make this movie worth our while, especially with Jon Favreau coming up aboard and doing what he did, hopefully what he did for Jungle Book, and making this a spectacular movie. I'm all for it. It gets me so excited to know that they're doing this, and they're fast tracking it. So they're making it a priority to get this out, and they don't have a release date set, but it's more than likely going to be either within 2018 or 2019. It's not going to be too far off. It's not going to be in 2020 or 2021. They're going to try and put this out as soon as possible. They could put this out yesterday. They will put it out, so I mean, that gets me excited. And so moving on to the next subject in movie notes is the synopsis for the War of the Planet of the Apes. Now, there was a trailer that also dropped, basically a teaser, but I'm going to get to that in the trailer section. But the synopsis basically tells us what we already knew. If you already seen the two previous films, then you already kind of know what the synopsis is for this movie. It's no surprise. But if you haven't seen it, check them out. Guarantee you they're worth your while. Just freaking phenomenal. But I mean, you kind of get what it is. You know, the humans are coming. That they didn't get the memo of, you know, the apes come in peace. They just want to live what they, you know, they just want to live in peace. They want their species to survive and blah blah blah, and they just want to be left alone. And that Caesar he comes in peace. Like, he's not a tyrant or nothing like that. So it's like the humans are coming to cause war on the apes, and so it's going to be a struggle between apes and humans and the survival of both species, who will prevail. And that Caesar is kind of fighting with a darker side of him, and you know, it basically just tells us what we already know. And it's, I mean, like I said, if you've seen the two previous films, you already had me on board with seeing this. Like, reading the synopsis, I could say it kind of upped it a little bit more, because now it's like, okay, we got a little, you know, details, little bit more details into what this movie is about. I mean, we already know what it's about, but now we have like this guy who's a ruthless, just son of a bitch that wants these apes dead and all that stuff. So it's adding more fuel to the fire. And I believe he's played by Woody Harrelson, which should be interesting as all hell. And I cannot wait for this movie to come out. But I mean, as far as the synopsis go, it sounds incredible. I mean, I've already knew that they were going to do incredible things with this film from seeing the last films, especially Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, especially how it ended, to basically just show that, yeah, these humans are coming and they want to kill these apes. So I just want to see the progression, the evolution of Caesar, and like how it's all going to prevail, because as far as we know, it kind of follows the same, I guess you could say it picks certain things from the old Planet of the Apes, the original films, but we never know. This could turn out totally different from what the old films had. It could be leading up to just how it is, you know, up in the older films, because it's not a connection. Or it could just end up being something totally different in the end when they finally decide to just, you know, end these films, or however they want to end it. So, I don't know. I'm just looking really forward to it. And this sounds incredible, and I can't wait to see this movie. And so, another thing, a part of the movie notes, we got some new images from the live action Beauty and the Beast movie, and this goes along with the Lion King and all this stuff, how Disney is like taking their old animated films and making them live action now. And Beauty and the Beast is one of them. It's coming out next year, and that they just dropped, I believe it's just two new photos. One of Belle in her regular, you know, outfit before she meets the Beast or whatever, and then another one is her in that iconic, you know, yellow dress that she wears in the cartoon or whatever, in the, you know, animated movie, and it's showing a picture of the Beast. And there's not really too much to say about it. I mean, Emma Watson looks incredible. Like, she is a beautiful woman, and you know, just she looks like Belle. I mean, she can play that part from what we got in the animated film. You just how she is as an actress, you can see her in that role. And the other picture with her up in the ball dress or whatever, dancing around with the Beast, I like it. I don't know what to take from it, because the Beast, I don't know. I will have to see how he looks in the trailer. They will have to have a full picture of him talking in the trailer, or just having seen up in the movie. But as far as him, I'm not fully on board. But I mean, like I said, this is just looking at the picture. This is not me just saying that, like, I don't like it, just point blank period. It's just looking at the picture. I'm not fully on board, but I'm not fully against it. So, I mean, I like the picture. The picture is okay. There's nothing more to say about it. I mean, it gets me more curious to see what this movie is going to turn out to be. Hopefully this movie is good, especially with the caliber of actors that they have on board playing these iconic characters. So hopefully they can do this movie justice and make it, if not as good, better than the original animated movie that came out in the 90s and stuff. So that came out, a part of my childhood. So hopefully they have some stuff that's some nostalgia up in it, just like I've said I wanted with other films that they're recreating, like with Power Rangers and stuff like that. I just want that nostalgia feeling, a part of it. So, I mean, that's really what I want to get out of it. And as well as a good movie, don't get me wrong. I ain't just trying to go see this movie just for the nostalgia about it, but I just want to see this movie because I hope that it's a good movie. And it looks pretty interesting. I can't wait to see a full trailer with it. And so, moving on to the next subject in movie notes. And it is Jurassic World 2. And just basically it's going to be a lot, I ain't going to say a lot, but a bit more scarier. That they're going to like focus on making it scarier and more suspenseful. Suspenseful. There we go. And I have my times where I can't talk, but it's gonna make it more. See what I'm talking about? It's gonna make it more suspenseful than the previous film. The previous film, like if you've seen Jurassic World, it's more of a family film. It's for the family to go, whatever. It has a bit of kind of like suspenseful and scary parts, but overall it's a family film. I can take my 6-year-old son to go see it. That's basically what it is. And so they're gonna make this movie, I guess you could say, a little bit more grown up, I guess you can get from it. And director is a guy that I haven't heard of. I'm still getting used to these directors. A lot of them made movies that I do like, so I'm still trying to get used to them. But the director of this movie is J.A. Bayona. I guess that's how you pronounce his last name. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I'll look it up. But and so Colin Trevorrow was the original director in the first Jurassic World. And they wanted to bring him on, but he had obligations to episode 8. As well as, just episode 8 or whatever, so he couldn't come on board as that. But J.A. Bayona, he took the helm of doing the directing duties for it. But Colin Trevorrow is still involved. He's penning in. I believe that he's a producer as well. I mean, you correct me if I'm wrong. I didn't get that. But at the same time, he's still working with them. And that's one of the things that Colin Trevorrow likes, is that the combination of two directors working together to bring forth life into a film and making it better than what it probably would have been. And so, I mean, to me, I have no problem with that. If you have two great minds coming together to make a great movie, do it. Do whatever you got to do to make the movie good. Make it that way. I mean, because there's a lot of movies that come out every year that is just horrible, that is just bad, and you can probably think of like about 10 of them within the last year or whatever. But I mean, there are movies that are just bad, and just maybe if they had more people with ideas or this and that and just had a better vision or whatever, then it probably would have been better. But at the same time, this sounds awesome. I have high hopes for it, even though I'm on record. No, I ain't gonna say on record, but I had a review out for it. But just my personal thoughts, that Jurassic World was a good film. I ain't gonna say a great film, but it was a really good film. I mean, it had a lot of similarities to the first Jurassic Park. A lot of similarities. But it was a good film nonetheless. A good family film, good fun, action-packed, popcorn movie or whatever. But as far as it being a great movie, it wasn't. Though I'm not saying it wasn't bad. I'm not saying that it was bad. I'm just saying it was just good. It wasn't a great film. And that I feel like it shouldn't, I'm glad it made the money that it did, but I don't think it deserved the money that it made. But that's neither here or there. So I hope that they make this movie, the second one, actually pretty cool and, better than the first one. I hope they make this and actually a great film. But like me hearing that they're saying that it's going to be more scary and more suspenseful, that gets me like a little bit more excited for it, because that's one of the things, like, if you know me, I'm on record as saying it on my previous podcast that I'm a big fan of horror. So if you making it more suspenseful and more scary or whatever, I'm all for it. Count me in. And so right now, I believe that it's in kind of like they're just writing the script for it and all that stuff. So a lot of the things haven't really came together too much for the movie. But I mean, of course, it's going to get released. But they're gonna, right now, Colin Trevorrow is right now still working on episode 8, so he's kind of tied up in that, so he can't give his full attention to, Jurassic World 2. And Bayana, I guess it's J.A. Bayana. He's working on the promotions and doing everything for the movie A Monster Calls. So they can't really give their full attention, but once the obligations for these other projects are done, wrapped up, they're going to give their full attention to this movie, and it's going to push straight on. So I'm more excited for this sequel, hopefully that it is better than the original. And so let's keep it moving because I'm not trying to make this too long. And the next subject in movie notes is Wolverine 3 got its official title than what we was given before. I mean, we already knew that the other titles were working titles, that they wasn't just the definitive title like Wolverine 3 Weapon X or just Weapon X or whatever they were gonna go with. And so I believe that they was kind of balancing like what they wanted to do with it, but I believe that they already had Logan in the title picture, like no pun intended. But I believe that they had Logan, that they were looking at that title, and they just didn't want to release it. That they had, Wolverine 3, Weapon X, blah, blah, blah. And so, Logan, as far as the title, I like it. I mean, it's simple. I mean, it's nothing too big to it. I mean, Weapon X, a lot of people are not going to get that. The casual movie fan goers or whatever, they don't keep tabs on what Wolverine is, what his name is, that he's Weapon X. They don't know that. They just go there. They just know, oh, that's Wolverine. He's part of the X-Men. Bam, bam. He cuts people. He got claws that come out. They love they know the basics of Wolverine, but they don't know everything else. They know what they've been told in the movies, but everything else is like they don't pay attention to. Like if you go to a random person, but like, oh, have you heard of Wolverine? But like, yeah, I heard of Wolverine, X-Men, blah blah blah. Have you heard of Weapon X? They'll be like, what is that? You probably get some people that know, but you won't. Just the average moviegoer, you won't know. So Wolverine 3, I had my thing with it, because it's like the first one was just X-Men Origins Wolverine, and then the other one was called The Wolverine, and then this one is Wolverine 3. I don't know, like The Wolverine 3. I don't know, like to me, it just seems like the first, I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it, because X-Men Origins Wolverine seemed like it's more of an X-Men movie because they got the X-Men title. Because you can just sell Wolverine by just calling it that. But that's just my rant. Let me just move on. The title, Logan, is so good. I like it because it's showing that they're going to focus more on him as a person rather than just the overall story. And if you know the story, in this one, is they say that it's not, but it is. It's taking points, or just taking bits and pieces from Old Man Logan, storyline up in the comic books or whatever, and in that story he loses his powers or whatever, and he's an old guy, of course. And if Wolverine, he's immortal, like he can't die. He has a fast regeneration or whatever in his body, and he can't die. But in this storyline, he's older and he's withering away or whatever. I haven't read Old Man Logan, so I'm just picking the pieces of what I know from it or whatever. But in the same time, they're using that for the movie, as well as it's going to take place in the future. And it seems like what I got from it, from the pictures that were released, is that he's protecting the girl, which haven't been stated who she actually is. We know that she's a mutant, but we don't know who she is or why he's protecting her. And more than likely, from just the ending scene of X-Men Apocalypse, more than likely it's going to be Weapon X. Or not Weapon X, X-23, which is a clone of Wolverine, I believe. And, and more than likely that's kind of her. I mean, it's like, who else would she be? Who else could she be? But, I mean, whatever they do with it, more than likely it's going to be more of a piece about him and his relationship with her. So it's gonna be more about Wolverine, kind of like a more of a character study. It's gonna be more about the individual of Wolverine and who he is and what he's facing, and not just a superhero movie. And to me, that aspect, it sounds so incredible that it sounds like it's gonna be more of an interesting film, and it sounds like it's gonna be a good send off for the character Wolverine and Hugh Jackman playing that specific Wolverine character. Or Wolverine being played as Hugh, being played by Hugh Jackman. And also, that's really all I gotta say about the title. And also with it was brought out the poster for it, which is showing Wolverine's hand with the claws out, holding the little girl's hand, which is the little girl that he's probably protecting or whatever. Well, he is protecting. But the one thing that I did notice about the poster is that he has cuts on his hand. And like I said before, he has a fast regeneration that allows him to heal quickly. But in this poster, he has scars that look like they are recent, but at the same time, they're not healed. It's not like it just happened right then and there. It look like they've been there for like at least a few hours. Or a day or so or whatever. And so it's like, yeah, that gives more, that sheds more light that he is losing his powers, that he can't regenerate like he usually does before, and what like he usually does or whatever. So, I mean, to me, it just shows that there is going to be more of a deeper impact that this movie is going to have, rather than just focusing on, just like I said, the action aspects of it. And it's going to be rated R, so it's going to be bloody and all this stuff. But everything just pointing around it just shows that it's going to be deeper. And that gets me really excited. It gets me really interested in what they're going to do with this movie. And I'm just full-blown excited about this. So, I mean, it is what it is. I just can't wait to see this movie. It's coming out next year, so I hope that this is a great film. So let me move on, because I ain't trying to talk too long. I ain't trying to make this too long. The next thing in movie notes. And speaking of the live action Disney movies, like I said, it's going to be a reoccurring theme. First we had first I was talking about The Lion King. Then I was talking about the Beauty and the Beast. Now they're going to bring to live action Mulan, which is a movie that it's not a bad movie. It wasn't one of my favorite Disney movies. Even rewatching it recently, I'll say about a few months back, I still can't get into it like everybody else. A lot of people that's my age that's seen this movie when they were younger, it's like they love it, they love songs, this and that, but I never got into the movie. I really didn't. But that's not to say that it's not a good film. It was just I never got into it. But I want to see what they do with this live action. With any movie that's like this, you're gonna hear me say this line. I'm curious to see how they're gonna do it. If this movie is gonna be, if this movie is gonna catch me more than the animated movie did, then I'm all on board for it. And how it looks, who they get in a title role, or just getting supporting roles, just the actors and directors or whoever they bring going. If it sounds exciting, everything that they're doing along the way, then I'm on board. And they have a release date, which is that they're striving for, which more than likely they're going to make it to that date. It's going to be November 2nd, 2018, which is not too far off. It's a little bit over 2 years. Or, a little bit over 2 years. It's been one of them weeks. But a little bit over 2 years, so we have a little bit of time wait, but not too much time removed. So it is what it is. And so they brought on the screenwriters to pen it. Rick Jaffa and Amanda Silver, who basically screen wrote Rise of the Planet of the Apes, as well as Jurassic World. And hopefully they didn't keep them on, because like I said, the movies were good. So I enjoyed both of them movies. So if they do this, I guess I'll be on board, because they did good with those movies. As well as they're going to start shooting, of course, in 2017. How early, I don't know. But I mean, I am all for a live action Mulan film. I'm willing to give it a chance. I may rewatch the old animated movie again, maybe sometime in the near future, just to see if I can kind of get into the mode. But as far as just the live action movie goes, I'm all for it. Can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see what they do with it. Can't wait till the first trailer drops. Hopefully, it's phenomenal. Then I'm gonna be on board trying to go see this. And so the last and final thing in movie notes is the new footage from Justice League movie that was released a few days ago or whatever. And basically all this shows is just some kind of like bloopers, behind the scenes shooting of the movie and blah blah blah. And they actually look incredible. Like I'm actually just not blown away, but I actually like the footage that they put out. Like I just thought that it looks awesome. I can't wait to see it. Like, even though, I mean, I'm on record saying that I loved Man of Steel. I liked Batman v Superman, and I didn't like Suicide Squad. I'm still excited to see Justice League. I mean, Wonder Woman, I'm excited to see that, but Justice League overall, I'm excited to see that movie because it looks like it's going to be good. It looks like they got their crap together and that they're going down the right path. And so, to me, that's really exciting. I just can't wait to see it. And then there's other photos of showing Superman in the black suit or whatever. He's flying. I mean, they're far away photos, but I mean, you can tell that it's black, so you're gonna get the black suit Superman up in there. But overall, like, these images looks cool. The footage that they released looks incredible. It gets me super excited to go see this movie, and you already know that I'm gonna be trying to get an advanced screening of this movie, and I'm gonna be one of those people that's going to go see the hell out of this movie, and hopefully, God, please let this movie be good. Just let this movie be good, because I cannot go for another DC movie that's mediocre or just downright just nothing. And so that wraps up movie notes. And so moving on to the next thing, I'm going to try and move this along because I still got a lot of other things to get up to. And so moving on to trailer reviews, which I got quite a few trailers to get on to, so I'm going to try and get through this as quickly as possible. But starting off is the first teaser trailer to Saban's Power Rangers, which is something that me and a bunch of other people have been wanting to see. I mean, because they've been putting out photos like of just behind the scenes and photos from the movie, character posters and other just posters for the movie, promotional stuff, but we have yet to see anything. And this movie is coming out fairly soon, I believe in February or whatever, so we're not that far off from this movie. So it's like, come on, like, can we get a teaser trailer or something? We need some type of footage. And so they dropped it at New York Comic Con, which is this weekend or whatever, and overall the trailer was okay. I didn't really get too impressed by it, and that's saying something from a guy who was a big Power Rangers guy. Like, when I was younger, Power Rangers was the thing to like. Like, when they first came out, I remember coming home from school and like playing or whatever outside, and then it was like, oh, Power Rangers come on. It's like, this is like the very first episode of Power Rangers, and it's like, oh, it comes on at this time. I don't even know what time it came on. I think it was like 4:00 or something like that, and we got home before then. So it was like, oh, we gotta get home before, we gotta get in and watch Power Rangers. Went in and watched Power Rangers. Once it was over, came back outside. And so that's how important Power Rangers was. It was like really impactful to just my childhood, and basically one of my favorite shows growing up. And so, well, not growing up, but even like as a child, it was one of my favorite shows. And just to see, this trailer and to see what they did with it, I was unimpressed by it. It wasn't a bad trailer. I mean, it was just a teaser trailer, so it really didn't show too much. It showed a lot of action, cut scenes and blah, blah. But it really showed too much. I mean, it was just there was nothing there. There was no meat really. I mean, it was a teaser trailer, so we can't really ask too much because it's a teaser, and that's basically what it's supposed to do. But uh, it's just it really didn't do it for me or get me on board to really get me enthused that this movie is gonna be good. But I saw something on Facebook that made me laugh, and I'm gonna share it with y'all. It made me laugh because this kind of like pinpoints it down to exactly what it is. And here we go. It says the 2017 Breakfast Club gets bitten by a radioactive power coin that gives them Tobey Maguire powers and the ability to reenact scenes from Chronicle. Finally, they become one with the alien symbiote Venom, which gives them Iron Man armor. And that is literally what this trailer is. I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad trailer. I'm not saying, but it wasn't. It was just unimpressed. It was unimpressive. What it was just. That's exactly that pinpoints to what it is, because you get this vibe of Chronicle and just all these different things, and even just them being in detention. It was like it did. That's the Breakfast Club, and I don't know, like. Hopefully this movie is better than what this teaser trailer gave us, but overall, that was hilarious. But yeah, the trailer, it was okay. It wasn't that good. It wasn't nothing that makes me really excited to see this movie. If anything, it makes me kind of like worried that this movie may not be as good as I would hope it to be, but hopefully it is good, or if not as good, better than what my expectations are. And if they are, then I will be happy, because they would end up doing my childhood justice. If not, they're going to ruin my childhood, in which they're not, because my child is my childhood. But Power Rangers is just something that they should take care with, because this is something that is part of my childhood. So I mean, the trailer was okay. It just they could have did better. I mean, the last scene with Rita Repulsa, I liked it. Don't get me wrong, I liked it. I just wish that they would have showed at least something, but it's a teaser. So hopefully the first official full-length trailer gives us something worthwhile. And so moving on, let's skip right over to the first official Resident Evil, the final chapter, thank God, movie trailer. And I have to give it to him. This trailer was awesome. I liked it. It shows the badassery. And it's just, when I was watching this movie, I just thought about it. I'm going to go see this movie when it comes out. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to take Resident Evil out the title, and I'm going to just call it the final chapter. And that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to go into this movie not seeing it as a Resident Evil movie, but seeing it as a kind of zombified action film that just doesn't have any ties to Resident Evil, and just look at it as what it is. Just a money-grabbing popcorn movie that's trying to capitalize on the zombie, thing or whatever. And that's basically what I'm going to go into this movie as. If you go into this movie expecting a good Resident Evil movie, you're going to be disappointed, as the other movies have basically showed us. But if you go into this movie just expecting to see what is actually given to us and what we saw in the past, then you're more than likely going to get some type of enjoyment out of it. So that's my whole thing. I'm going to go see this movie with that philosophy and just look at it as not a Resident Evil film, but just a zombified action popcorn money grabbing type film. And I'm just going to see it like that. And that's the reason why I look at it like that, is because you have to, and because the trailer, like I said, was awesome. I love the action scenes to it. It looks like it's going to be a good film, but that's just the trailer. Trailers are known to mislead, just to give us what we need to believe that the movie is going to be good, for us to give them money. But as far as the trailer is awesome. I liked it. Better than that piece of shit that they put out before, of just the freaking headache cutscene machine that they called a freaking trailer. That was just freaking horrible. But in any case, like I said, this trailer was awesome, really good. Hopefully, this movie is worth seeing. Hopefully. So moving on, we got the Pirates of the Caribbean teaser trailer, which I've watched. I liked it. I didn't. It wasn't like, I mean, it didn't show too much, but I did like it. I'm intrigued by it. I want to go see this movie. And it did what it was supposed to do, which made a person like me want to go see this movie. Now, I'm not a big fan of the Pirates of the Caribbean. It's not saying that, like, oh, these are bad movies, I hate them, like a whole bunch of other people would say. But it's just, I haven't really been a big fan of them. I mean, I watched them. The last one I barely even watched. It was just, after a while, it was just, I wasn't really fully on board with them. So it wasn't like, it was something that I wanted to go see. It's just, it's there. It's a movie, it was whatever. But the teaser trailer was actually pretty cool. I enjoyed it. And then, I feel like it was kind of like a bold move not to have Jack Sparrow in it. But it is a teaser. So, I hopefully, they have a better first trailer. Hopefully. That they have something worthwhile that when we actually see Jack Sparrow in the first official full-length trailer, that is actually funny and is actually something that pulls us in, make us want to go see this movie. But as far as this teaser trailer for Pirates of the Caribbean, I don't even know what the subtitle is, but it actually looks pretty cool. I mean, I'm guessing that's the villain of the film. He actually looks pretty cool. I enjoyed it, so it is what it is. And moving on, so this movie Get Out has a trailer, which I peeked, which I never heard of before, but then it was on Facebook or whatever, so I just happened to look at it, and it's just about an interracial couple, a black guy and a white woman, and they're going to go meet her parents, and he doesn't know if they know that he's black and stuff, and so they go to their hometown, and so he starts to notice that there's something fishy going on, that the black people are acting weird, and so he starts to unravel all this stuff, and it's kind of like just a creepy type film. It's a horror film, but it's creepy or whatever, and it's kind of like, I guess you can say suspenseful or whatever. And one half of Key and Peele, I don't know his first name. I don't watch the show, so forgive me for that. But I hear good things. But Peele is the person behind this movie, and so when upon my first viewing of this trailer, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, I'm like, this looks so stupid. Like, I'm just like, what is this? Like, what? I don't know. Like, I couldn't conceive it. But I had to look at it again, just to see if, like, I'm tweaking or if I just, whatever. So upon my second viewing of this trailer, I liked it a little bit more. But that's not saying too much. Is that the trailer is okay. It's not spectacular, whatever. It's something that I'm curious on checking out, but nothing that I will rush to the movies to go see. I mean, if somebody was gonna go see it and they wanted me to go, whatever, I probably would, but nothing that I would just be like, oh, let's go see Get Out, blah blah. But it just, what throws me off about the trailer is that it looks like one of those movies that would just go straight to VOD. It looks like one of those movies that would that's basically just, I mean, of course it's low budget, so, I mean, whatever. And you can tell. But just the way that the trailer was cut together with the sounds that go along with it and just how it looks, it's not something that really catches me. I mean, it's a real interesting premise. It looks, it looks really creepy. But as far as a movie, it just, I don't know. It looks like it's not going to be good. It looks like it's going to be okay. I'll be surprised if it's really good. Then that may get me to want to go to the show to go see it. But one thing that I've noticed that I haven't heard other people say about this is that in the trailer, it shows the movie. Like, literally. Like, I've heard people say that they love the trailer, that it looks amazing, blah, blah. But no one has tackled the fact that it shows the movie. Like, it literally shows it from beginning to basically the end. Like, you know what's gonna happen, like scene by scene. It's like, what? They gave literally the movie and the whole trailer. So it's like, that's what kind of like throws me off about it, is that it wasn't really too good of a trailer to begin with, just to me personally. But just to know that they showed damn near the whole movie in the trailer, it just throws me off. And so the trailer is okay. It is what it is. Like I said, this movie is not, the trailer is not gonna get me excited to go see the movie. Maybe the reviews, if they're really positive and really strong, then I may go see it. But other than that, it's just something I'll wait to see on, VOD or something like that. Maybe rent it at Redbox or whatever. But it's just, it is what it is. The trailer, yeah, it's one of those movies. But anyway, moving on to the next trailer. So we got the trailer to John Wick 2, and it's freaking phenomenal. It looks crazy because like a few days ago, or like some days ago, they dropped a teaser trailer which looked it pretty good. But now they dropped a full trailer. I believe it was at New York Comic Con that was this weekend. And the trailer looks incredible. The first movie, I was late to the party when John Wick came out. I didn't see it in theaters, and it was like months after I saw it, after it came out on DVD or whatever. And so I was hearing a lot about it. John Wick this, John Wick that, John. And so I'm like, okay, let me just finally check it out. It came on because matter of fact, I was so late that I think it came on HBO when I caught it. So I ended up recording it, and then I watched it, and I'm like, yo, this movie is incredible. This movie is so awesome. So it got me really pumped to know that they're going to make a sequel. So it was like, yes. Give you my money. Give you my money. And it looks incredible. And this trailer to John Wick 2 looks incredible. Now, they put out a picture not too long ago, which I'm going to talk about in quick takes. But this trailer has that dog in the trailer, well, of course. Yeah, so there's this new dog in the trailer that John Wick has. And it looks badass. It looks like it's gonna chew somebody's throat out. But at the same time, like this trailer is so action packed. It got me pumped to wanting to see this movie. Even just the promotional posters that they had out for it, with him getting fitted in the suit and all this stuff. It looks crazy. Looks incredible. I cannot wait to see this movie, John Wick 2. They need to release this as soon as possible and give me a early screening, maybe a few months in advance before anyone else. But I know that's not going to happen. But hopefully, man, I can dream. But this movie, by the trailer, looks incredible. And hopefully this movie is better than the first one, or as good as the first one. And if it is, I will be satisfied. I'll be sitting there stuffing popcorn in my face, eating a hot dog, drinking my cherry Coke, as I always do in the movie theater. And I will be enjoying myself. Hopefully. But it looks incredible. I love the trailer. And so, moving on to the last... No, I got two more. So, moving on to the other one. And this is War for the Planet of the Apes teaser. Now, it's really nothing that goes along with it, but it looks good. I like it. I like the way they did it. And I know some symbolism behind it, but, I'm not even going to try and go that deep. But in any case, I like it. All it is just showing, like, snow going towards like just nothing, but all of a sudden it starts hitting something, and after a while you can see the formation of Caesar, and it's just basically it shows like it's like the snow is hitting him, and it's just kind of like him just looking at the camera, just not moving at all, and it's just, you can hear him talking and just saying things, and you can just basically hear sound bites or whatever. And it's like, I believe it's not that long. It's like maybe 16 seconds, 20 seconds or something like that. But I like it. I mean, it really don't give us too much. It gave us a little bit. It's just a teaser trailer. I guess you could say a teaser of a teaser, because it really didn't show. It didn't show anything. It just showed that. But, I mean, like I said, they don't have to do nothing else. They can just I mean, put out one trailer and then bam, I'm gonna go see this movie. I've seen the other two. I'm on board with this movie regardless. So yeah, this teaser trailer was actually pretty good. It wasn't nothing to give too much. It didn't show anything, but I liked it. And so moving on to the last thing of trailer reviews, we're getting to the Netflix original series Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events. And it was just a teaser. And I know this is a book series or whatever. But what I remember from it is just the Jim Carrey one where he was up in there, and I believe it was Emily Browning up in the movie or whatever, and it came out like some years ago. I say maybe about 10 years ago, maybe a little bit less, maybe more or whatever. But that was my first introduction of it. And when I first saw the movie, I thought it was okay. I only saw it one time, and it was years ago. I think when it first came out to DVD, and that was the first time I saw it. So, my memory of it is like bits and pieces of what it is. I know that he was trying, Jim Carrey's character was trying to kill the kids or whatever, because I believe he killed, I don't know if this is spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen it, but yeah, Jim Carrey, I believe he was behind the killing of their parents. And so since the inheritance of their parents went to the kids, he agreed to take care of them, and he's basically just trying to kill the kids so that he can get the inheritance. And so that's basically what the whole movie is about. So yeah, so this trailer it has a guy, the name eludes me, but he's been around voice character acting and all that stuff. He plays Lemony Snicket's, and he is basically just up in the sound studio or whatever where they like shoot everything, and he's just talking to the camera and just talking about the unfortunate events and stuff that happened while shooting this, and and just kind of like, it's interesting just the way that they did it. Like I said, it doesn't show nothing, don't show no footage of what the show looks like and all this stuff, but I want to check it out to see how it is or what it is, and just, I don't know. It seems interesting. I ain't gonna say it looks interesting. It seems interesting. It seems curious. They got me on board. Netflix has been knocking it out the park with their series, and I want to watch more Netflix original series. I'm still not on Orange is the New Black or House of Cards, but sooner or later I'm gonna get onto them. But they have, what I've been hearing is they have been knocking it out the park. So I'm looking forward to seeing this, and hopefully they do it good. And so that ends trailer reviews. I'm about to say movie reviews. That ends trailer reviews, and on to quick takes. Like I said, I'm not trying to make this too long, so I'm about to go ahead and get through these as quick as possible. What I alluded to before with the John Wick 2. John Wick 2 had a poster come out earlier this week, and it was just John Wick walking with his new dog, and it looks badass. It looks really good. And before the trailer, like I said, if you've seen the original film, you heard there's part 2, you're already on board. It don't matter. They don't have to do anything else. They can end with this trailer and bam, that's it. End with that poster, that's it. But it looks awesome. It looks incredible. I liked it. So I'm going to just be on record as saying I'm already on board. Like I said before, seeing John Wick 2. And the next thing is, Ben Affleck came out and gave the official title to the new Batman solo film that he's directing, starring in, and co-writing, I believe. It's going to be called The Batman, which we kind of already knew, but it's nice for him to, confirm it. So, yeah, it fits it. We already got a Batman movie. We got Batman Begins and all these different titles. So now it's just called The Batman, and when you put "the" in front of a title name or something like that, it seems like it's like a myth or it's elusive or something like that. Just something like great. And so when you put "the Batman," it just makes it seem like, oh, it's the Batman. Just when you think of Batman, you think of fear. As far as when you think of what villains think of when they hear the name Batman, but that's a whole different thing. But get back to it. Yeah, I like the title. It's cool. Stick with it. Don't change it. Maybe add it like a subtitle, but you really don't need to. And so moving on to the next thing in quick takes. is Saban's Power Rangers character posters that they just put out recently. It looks awesome. I love them. I love them. Out of all the promotional pictures and posters that they put out for this movie, these are the best because it gives a full look of the suits. It gives a full look of just the awesomeness of it. And before, like I said, I wasn't on board with like the concept art because it's like, yeah, there's just concept art, whatever. But this looks awesome. It looks incredible. It looks freaking badass. I don't know what to say about the movie because the trailer was just the trailer or whatever, but these posters are on point. As the young kids say, on fleek. The difference escapes me. But in any case, these posters look incredible and I love them. They should go ahead and put out more posters like this. These are posters that I will put on my own damn wall. That's how amazing these freaking posters are. And so moving on to the Underworld Blood War character posters. And yeah, they're okay. I mean, it's not really too much to say about them. They're just standing there and just the characters. I mean, it don't do anything for me. It just don't do anything. They're not doing any action. They're just standing there looking at the camera and, yeah, that's what they do. Yeah, nothing else. Okay. But anyway, and to end off quick takes, I'm going to give my quick predictions for WWE pay-per-view event called No Mercy, which is a SmackDown only pay-per-view event. And I'm trying to make this as quick as possible, just give you my thoughts and whatever, who I think is going to win, blah, blah, blah. Hence the word predictions. So, in no particular order, besides the pre-show, which is Jack Swagger versus Baron Corbin, I think that they're going to more than likely go with Baron Corbin because for some reason they're trying to, give like Jack Swagger this push or whatever, which I don't know if it's going to go too far, but I mean, I believe that they're going to go with Baron Corbin pulling off the victory. Because that basically, it would keep the rivalry going because Jack Swagger would want another swing at him and blah, 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 and they could keep it going. But I don't know if anybody really cares about that match because it's part of the kickoff. But that's my pick for that match. And then Orton versus Bray Wyatt. I think that they're going to... I don't know. That's kind of hard because Bray Wyatt, for some reason, they just been misusing him ever since they got first brought into it as the Wyatt family. Like, Bray Wyatt has not been utilized like he should. And Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt haven't really had a matchup because they were supposed to have a matchup last month, but it didn't end up happening because Randy Orton wasn't clear to wrestle. So Bray Wyatt had to go at it with Kane, and he ended up losing to Kane. So it's like, I kind of want both of them to win. I guess you could say I don't want it to be no double, count out or something like that. No shit finish. I want, Randy Orton to win because he's my favorite wrestler. And then I want Bray Wyatt to win because he has potential. Like, I could see him in the championship spot. But if I had to pick, which I do, tonight I think that Randy Orton is going to pull off the victory. I don't think that they're going to have him, lose like he did with, he's not going to lose like he did with Brock Lesnar, but the last two big event matches that he had was with Brock Lesnar, and he lost both of them. So it's kind of like in the catch-22 right now. But odds down, it goes to Orton, because then that's going to push forward the rivalry, because then Bray Wyatt is going to want revenge. So yeah, Orton for the win. Slater and Rhino versus the Usos for the championship, for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship belts. I think that they're going to keep going, that they're going to keep running with Slater and Rhino's tag team. That it's not going to be something where it's just, they're going to do it for a few months and, that's it. I think they're going to push it a little bit longer, at least until about Royal Rumble or WrestleMania of next year. So I think that Heath Slater and Rhino is going to pull off the victory over the Usos. As well as going on to the next match, The Miz versus Dolph Ziggler. Championship versus career. If Miz wins, Wow. Okay. Dolph Ziggler has to quit, and if Dolph Ziggler wins, he gets to keep his job. Plus, he gets the championship belt. I think that Ziggler is on his way out. So I think The Miz is going to pull off the upset. I think this is going to be Dolph Ziggler's last match. So yeah, The Miz for the win. Next match, Becky Lynch versus Alexa Bliss. I don't think Becky Lynch is going to win. I don't think they're going to give the title to Alexa Bliss. Nothing against Alexa Bliss. Like, I haven't been following her. I don't really watch NXT like that. Or I really don't watch NXT. So, I don't know exactly what's all in her arsenal and how she is as a wrestler for a long term. Because this is really my first time getting to see her in the ring. But I think that they're going to try to keep the belt on Becky Lynch a little bit longer. I know they're not going to put it on her and take it away from her this quick, especially to somebody like Alexa Bliss. They haven't pumped Alexa Bliss up to that point to where she is like a person where you can see her taking the title from Becky Lynch. But I mean, they've built Becky Lynch up to this point to where she finally get her championship, and so I think they're going to keep it on her at least until the end of this year. So yeah, Becky Lynch for that match. Nikki Bella versus Carmella. I think it's kind of a hard one. I don't know if they want their golden girl Nikki Bella to lose to Carmella, but at the same time they're trying to build up Carmella as a female wrestler on SmackDown, so people can get to know her a little bit more. So I guess I would. I don't know. I would have to pick maybe Carmella is going to pull up. Maybe she'll do something where she cheats to win, and that's how she picks up the victory. I could see that happening. So, yeah, Carmella for the win. And for the last match, forgive me if I'm forgetting any matches or whatever. I don't know. I mean, it's only a SmackDown only pay-per-view, so I don't think they're going to have like 10 matches. But if I'm forgetting any matches, whatever, or if I'm forgetting a match, whatever. But the last match, Styles versus Ambrose versus Cena. I can't see them taking the belt off of AJ Styles, especially this quick when they built him up this fast. So it shows that they have faith in AJ Styles, and he's been doing a good job thus far as like just being an on camera personality and a character and all that stuff. I don't think that they're going to take it off of him. I don't think that they're going to give Cena his 15 title, his 15th championship like Ric Flair. I don't think they're going to do it. They might do that next year. They might, hype it up all the way up to WrestleMania, and that's when he gets his 15th championship. But overall, I think Styles is going to regain. I think that maybe it's going to be something to where Cena does a move on AJ Styles, and he's probably going to pin him. Ambrose is going to mess it up, and then they're going to go at it, and then Cena or Ambrose is going to do a move, and then AJ Styles is going to capitalize on whoever left standing. He's going to pick up the victory or something like that. So I think that's how it's going to end up going, or somehow AJ Styles is going to sneak the victory in, or he's going to cheat to win, which is no disqualification. So I mean, anything goes. So it really wouldn't be considered cheating, but whatever. So my money is on Styles. So just to recap real quick, it's Swagger on Baron Corbin. My money's on Baron Corbin. Orton Wyatt. Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt. Randy Orton. Slater and Rhino versus the Usos. Slater and Rhino is gonna retain. The Miz versus Dolph Ziggler. The Miz is going to retain. Becky Lynch versus Alexa Bliss. Becky is going to keep her title. Nikki versus Carmella. Carmella for the win. Styles is going to be the winner in the Ambrose versus Ambrose versus Styles versus Cena match for the WWE Championship. And those are my predictions. I don't know how many of those is going to pan out. It might have some surprises in this pay-per-view event. But this is a SmackDown only pay-per-view event. The first ever No Mercy SmackDown pay-per-view event for WWE on tonight. And so that wraps up Quick Takes, as well as it wraps up this 20th edition. Damn it, I love saying that. The 20th edition of the Take One podcast. I'd like to thank you guys for joining me for this podcast. I'm going to try and put out a little bit more, have a little bit more content come out for the page or, the channel. But, life and just trying to juggle a whole bunch of things is like really hard. But I'm trying to get through it and trying to punch and trying to prevail and all that good stuff. But like I said before, thank you for listening to my podcast, and I hope you guys liked it. If you did, go ahead, hit the like button, subscribe to this channel so you can get more or whatever of me and more of the new stuff that I put out. When I put it out, you'll get the first, turn on your notifications so you'll be the first to get what the new stuff I put out, as well as follow me on social media, Facebook and all that good stuff. Facebook.com/take1reviews, Twitter.com/take1_reviews, as well as results as I won. That's also on the Twitter. You can follow me on Instagram on Take One Reviews, and Snapchat August C. Jones. And, leave comments. Let me know what you like about this podcast. If you agree with what I was saying, if you disagree, start a conversation. I mean, just do whatever. Just share this with your people, whatever. And just, put the word out or whatever. The Take One podcast and all that good stuff and what I'm doing over here on my channel. And I think that's about it. Yeah. Hopefully next time to come out, there'll be a lot more stuff that's come out so I can talk about a lot more movie related news or whatever is that comes out or whatever. But in any case, thank you guys for joining me. I hope to catch you guys next time. And until then, peace out.